Coming up on Transworld Sport, we head to Japan for the FISE Action Sports Festival.
We're in Vietnam with Nick Faldo as he goes in search of the golf stars of tomorrow.
The Speedway World Championship is back, and there was a surprise at the opening event in Poland.
And we're on the waters of San Francisco for sailing's newest racing series.
Hiroshima, Japan was rebuilt from ashes after an atomic bomb was dropped on the city at the end of the Second World War. Today, it's a bustling modern metropolis, and it was the location for the opening stop of the 2019 FISE World Tour. FISE is the biggest annual tour for action sports. It encompasses 3 continents and features the world's best tricksters in a variety of events. Puerto Rican skateboarder Manny Santiago is performing in front of a Japanese crowd for the first time.
First of all, I've never been to Japan, so I didn't know what to expect. I've had nothing but a great time. The people are really nice. The city's amazing. The skating was phenomenal. Japan has a lot of good talent, and what I liked about it most is they supported each other. Even the guy sitting in first place was like egging on his friend to do good. So that goes to show the brotherhood in skateboarding is translating over to different countries. You could see how much they're growing and their skill level, and it's amazing to see them push the bars within themselves. And I think that down the road, there won't be that question. Just like in Brazil, you don't say, are Brazilians good? Are Americans good? Are Puerto Ricans good? You just know they're good, and they're great. So they're bringing some to the table to push the rest of the skate world to a whole nother level.
In the Skateboard Street Pro final, 12 riders took part. They each had 2 60-second runs in which to display their skills, and it was the best run which counted. Japan's Ike Kiyaki is 17 years old, and he seems to just get better and better with each competition. Another stylish run here saw him secure 2nd place. The next rider up was the oldest man in the final, 31-year-old Kishore Johnson of America. A front 270 lip slide and a back 3 over the driveway were the highlights of his routine, as he claimed a 5th place finish. Sora Shirei was another teenage Japanese skateboarder who made it through to the final. He's a rider who's always full of surprises, and he has the ability to make things look effortless. However, on this occasion, he nailed some difficult tricks, but didn't do the basics so well and had to settle for 8th. Richard Touré of Slovakia was last year's overall FISE champion in this event, and he was out to prove that he'd be the man to beat this season too. But the 25-year-old looked a little rusty, and despite some decent heel flips, he could only manage 9th. Daisuke Ikeda won this FISE Hiroshima competition last year, and the Tokyo rider was expected to do well this time around. He lost his hat on his signature move, the McTwist, but it was a stylish run that saw him take 4th. Eight Japanese riders made it through to the final, and the next one up was Yukito Aoki. At just 15, he was the youngest competitor in the field, but he produced a confident and assured display that belied his tender years. Aoki claimed a deserved 3rd place. Kaidi Yoshikawa was just delighted to have made the final, and with a big grin on his face, he enjoyed his run in front of his home fans, claiming 6th. Top honours on the day went to Ryo Sagawa. The 18-year-old rode with speed and he packed in the tricks, including a nollie big spin front board to fakie, which he landed with ease. Japanese riders claimed the top 4 spots to the delight of the crowd.
In a recent contest, I tried to do difficult tricks during qualification, and I didn't manage to pull them off. So this time, I skated smarter in qualifying. All my focus was on making the final, and that's what I did. It all worked out well for me, and I'm really happy.
Up next, the roller freestyle park World Cup final. Check it out.
The 12 riders in the final of the roller freestyle park had 2 runs of 50 seconds each. Jaro Frins of the Netherlands produced probably the best performance of his career. The 18-year-old secured 4th place. France's Roman Abrat dropped in and opened up with a 540 transfer, which was a risky trick to begin with, but it paid off. The 31-year-old Frenchman is known for his consistent and stylish riding. Everything is clean, and another slick run saw him take 5th here. Abrat's French compatriot Diaco Diaby was next, and he produced some big 360s, which the crowd loved. But the judges only awarded him 7th place.
Before my first run, I get really stressed, but I'm happy that everything went well. There was a trick that gave me a hard time in the qualifiers, but I decided to do it in the beginning of my run.
Australia's CJ Wellsmore loves performing in Japan. He was delighted with his run in the final.
Yesterday's semi-final, the level was so high, it put me into 5th spot. So I went to the drawing board last night and I had to figure out something, pull it out of the bag, and today, miraculously, it worked, man. So I decided to hack tricks that I can't normally do, and I managed to pull it off. So at the end of the day, I'm pretty stoked with what I got, man.
31-year-old CJ Wellsmore finished the day in 3rd. Japan's Toshiki Yashitoko is considered to be his sport's best vert rider, and he went higher than anyone else. Some brilliant 360 variations helped the 32-year-old to claim 2nd. England's Joe Atkinson is the king of the roller freestyle world. Here, the Yorkshireman looked even better than he did when he won the overall FISE title last year. A 720 on the step-up was remarkable, and he worked his way round the course, picking different lines and landing unique tricks. 1st place was his.
Right now I feel the best I've ever been, so this one was, it was hard. A lot of it, you know, it was like running a marathon, but it was cool, you could go high.
One of the most eagerly awaited events at FISE Hiroshima was the men's BMX flatland. Performed on a smooth, flat surface, it's been described as a form of artistic cycling mixed with elements of breakdancing. Last year's overall champion was France's Matthias Dandois.
With flatland, you can't get prepared enough for a contest. Like, the problem is if you ride too much before a contest, you're gonna put so much pressure on yourself because you rode so much and you're like, damn, if I screw up my run, that it means like all these sacrifices I've done the past few months are gonna be for nothing. And if you don't really ride and take it easy, then you're not really as comfortable on your bike. So it's a fine line to find between getting too ready or like not enough ready. Also the fact that it's such a legit circuit now and the guys want to try to put their name out there and, you know, like ride these events. I have a couple new things. I'm doing that fake manual 5K out at the beginning of my run that I'm pretty stoked on. So like both my new tricks, I did them at the beginning of my run to get them out of the way, you know, because at the end of the run you get tired and you don't have the same focus. And it's kind of nice to get the big things out of the way first. If you mess up your first tricks, then it's gonna kind of mess your brain up. You're like, damn, I gotta do good. And it's actually the first year I'm doing a first trick that I'm not sure I can do. But when I do it, it kind of gives me so much confidence. So after I'm just like, all right, this is out of the way, now I'm done. I'm just gonna freestyle and make sure I pull my normal stuff. So it's kind of a different process from last year, doing the hard stuff at the beginning, and I think I like it better that way.
Yo, up next, UCI BMX Flatland Final. Woohoo!
8 riders qualified for the final, and they each had 3 minutes in which to showcase their skills. In BMX Flatland, tricks are performed by spinning and balancing on the bike in a variety of unexpected positions. Judges score the competitors up to a maximum of 100 points. Ryo Katagiri was up first. The 18-year-old Japanese rider has been hailed as the future of the sport. His performance here was sensational. There was so much flow in the transitions between his tricks, and he landed all of them cleanly. Ryo scored 90 points, which everyone knew would take some beating. Benjamin Hudson of Chile was next. He has a unique way of setting up his bike and is always smooth in his transitions. The 23-year-old would end up finishing in 4th place. Next up was the man many had been waiting to see perform, Matthias Dandois. The 30-year-old from Paris premiered some new tricks, such as a stylish spin on the back wheel with his foot hooked on the pedal. His signature long, difficult links were also on show. The Frenchman went on to score 86.75 points. Not enough to overhaul Ryo Katagiri, but it would see him secure 2nd place. Canada's Jean-William Prévost was the FISE World Champion back in 2017, and he's always a danger when he's in the mood. There were glimpses of his brilliance in his combinations, but he didn't trouble the leaders, finishing the competition in 5th. The last rider to perform was Dominik Nikolny of the Czech Republic. The fans enjoyed his trademark cross-footed hitchhiker, and his run secured him 3rd place. The crowd had been treated to a memorable flatland competition. Even Matthias Dandois wasn't too disappointed with his 2nd place.
I think that was the highest level ever at a FISE competition. And that was due to the floor. The spot was amazing this year. So everybody could express themselves in the best way possible. And that's why the level was so high, so I'm so stoked I got 2nd.
I can't believe that I won. It was amazing. The other riders are so good, and before the competition I was nervous.
And there's more spectacular action from FISE Hiroshima later in the show.
Now for our sporting question. June will see golf's US Open take place at Pebble Beach in California. It will be the 6th time the stunning venue has hosted the tournament. World #1 Brooks Koepka goes into the event as the defending champion. In fact, the 29-year-old American will be looking to win the competition for a 3rd successive year. Koepka is in great form. He retained his PGA Championship title last month and he has now won 4 majors. You wouldn't bet against him making it 5 at Pebble Beach. And for this week's question, we'd like you to name the last man to have won the US Open at Pebble Beach. We'll bring you the answer later in the show. The Laguna Langco Golf Club in Vietnam was the destination for Asia's most talented young golfers as they battled it out in the Faldo Series Asia Grand Final. The series was established in 1996 with the aim of nurturing the next generation of champions. The man behind it is legendary English golfer Nick Faldo, and he has the support of Dominic Wall from the R&A.
It provides a tremendous platform for some of the best players from around the region to showcase their skills, both at their home country, and I think we've got 16 countries in Asia involved, all the way through to the final here. And we have 70-odd players here contesting this event, and the age group champions are going to go to the European final. So it's a great platform from really the grassroots level all the way through to high-level championships that they can play, and it provides opportunities for so many young, talented players.
We have a fantastic week. We've got Laguna Langco as our hosts. As you can see, it's a fantastic stop for the kids. They're all can't believe it. I mean, someone was saying, oh, wow, if I go to another resort, it's never going to look like this. Well, yeah, we feel it's something special here. And yeah, the golf course is in amazing shape. We're always constantly working on things. We're going to add a couple of bunkers here and that sort of thing. This is fantastic. This is what was envisaged when we first arrived on site. And we headed out and walked and said, well, this would be great. Why don't we have rice fields? And they actually are genuine.
A big focus for us is trying to find that balance between making the course a better championship venue for this event, but also making the course more playable and aesthetically pleasing for our resort guests that come here every day. So we find that we're really kind of nailing that balance over the last 3 years, putting together different programs. We've built 6 new tee boxes. 3 of them are to make the course a little bit easier, and 3 of them were to give a slightly different challenge to the competitors of the Faldo Series.
Over the years, these Faldo Series events have featured a number of players who have gone on to make a big impact on the game.
When you look back at some of my winners, I've got my big ones, you know, the Rory and Yanni Singh helped me get started, Melissa Reed played, and then Eddie Pepperell's just popped up. You know, he played and won my series way back, and now doing great on tour. So there's quite a few guys they played, may not even have won, because they were youngsters way back then, but they've now, Danny Willett played some of my events moons ago, didn't win, but ended up, you know, being Masters champion. So yeah, we're trying our best to help them get a taste and get recognized for what they're doing.
This event in Vietnam also featured a coaching clinic with Faldo. He gave many tips to the young players in the hope of improving their game.
I'm having the time of my life. It's one of the best golf courses I've played in. And yeah, the competition's also really good. It's nice to be part of the clinics held by Sir Nick, so it's a great experience, one to remember.
In sports, it's almost more exciting when you're showcasing up-and-coming players. It's a big opportunity for the players, and they have a lot of heart and passion into the game, and they seem to take a lot more interest in their early development years, and it's pretty fascinating. It's also nice to see so many different nationalities and countries coming together. And it's also a gender-neutral event, which is rare in golf, where we have the boys and the girls both competing for the championship.
To actually have a championship where boys and girls are playing together and playing in the same competition, slightly different tees, but last year there was a female winner. We've had a couple of girls win this championship over the years, so it's a great opportunity to showcase boys and girls playing together at a top-level competition. Very, very good.
On the final day of the tournament, it was Chang Sing Chow and Chen Ting Yu who were in contention coming down the last. Both tied, they went on to play 2 extra holes in a nail-biting sudden death playoff. In the end, it was 16-year-old Chang who went on to secure a memorable victory. Chang became the second female player to win the Faldo Series Asia Grand Final.
The French city of Lille was the setting for the 2019 Indoor Skydiving World Championships. Over the last 5 years, there's been a big upsurge in people wanting to learn to fly indoors in wind tunnels. And for the elite, competitions are now held all over the world, and they make for incredible, gravity-defying viewing. At this year's World Championships, 300 competitors from over 30 nations took part. They faced wind speeds approaching 300 kilometers per hour. There are team and individual competitions where entrants must impress with a series of compulsory and freestyle maneuvers within a set time. In the Formation 4-Way Open category, it was Team Hayabusa from Belgium who came out on top. In the Vertical Formation 4-Way event, competitors must stay either head up or head down. The SDC core team from the United States are the leading lights in this discipline. With their stylish and synchronized moves, they cruise to victory with no other side able to come close to matching their score. In the dynamic 4-Way Open, teams compete in speed rounds and free routines. The experienced French side of Léonard Blanchon, Clément Decleux, Elliot Pothet and Matteo Lemneos impressed their home crowd by claiming their third world title. In the dynamic 2-Way, all eyes were on the British team, which featured 12 and 13-year-old siblings Noah and Kaylee Wittenberg. Kaylee was Junior Freestyle World Champion last year, and here she added the dynamic 2-Way world title to a growing collection of honours. In the Solo Freestyle Open, athletes perform free and compulsory routines to music of their choice. Points are awarded on creativity, precision and difficulty of successful maneuvers chosen. In the final, Germany's Raphael Zweiger beat Kira Po of Singapore in a thrilling encounter. It brought the curtain down on the third edition of these championships, which continue to go from strength to strength.
Time now for Sporting Heroes. British sprinter Dina Asher-Smith is fast becoming one of the stars of the athletics world. The 23-year-old won 3 gold medals at the 2018 European Championships, winning the 100 and 200-metre titles in British record times. Also a world and Olympic medalist in the relay, Dina finished last year ranked world #1 over both the 100 and 200. But Dina still has a long way to go if she is to eclipse the medal tally of her sporting hero.
I'm Dina Asher-Smith and my sporting hero is Christina Horrigu.
Christina Horrigu is one of the most decorated British track stars. The crowning glory of her career came in 2008 when she won 400-metre gold at the Beijing Olympics. The 35-year-old retired from the sport in 2018, having won an impressive 10 world and 4 Olympic medals.
Christina Horrigu is my sporting hero simply because I just really, really admire her strength and her ability to perform under pressure, under immense pressure, and always do it with a smile on her face. And especially the way that she can pull through that 400 when you've got lactic, because that lactic is horrible. And I just think obviously her physical ability is amazing, and as a person, she's a genuinely, like, 110% thoroughly lovely person. And she, like, when Moscow, she would always make sure that I was okay. And she was really, really nice and always a warm, friendly person that you could always rely on to be happy. So, Christine.
The Polish capital Warsaw was the location for the opening round of the 2019 Speedway World Championship. The reigning world champion is Great Britain's Ty Woofenden. Last year, he won his third world title, underlining his status as the greatest British rider of the modern era. New to this year's championship is the fact that the bikes now carry transponders. Along with a computerized timing system, it means that lap times and bike changes can be tracked during the course of a race night. There's also been a change in the qualification process, with riders shooting for the fastest lap and gaining the opportunity to choose their gate draw number for the Grand Prix. There's been mixed reviews for all the changes.
I wished I paid a little bit more attention at school because I'm a bit confused at the moment, so I will see after the next couple of minutes, but it's a bit confusing.
Really, I'm just trying to roll with it, yeah, get some experience, see how it goes, and hopefully I'll be fast.
The Polish Grand Prix proved to be a meet to forget for world champions. Consistency was key to Ty Woofenden's title-winning season last year, but here, the 28-year-old struggled with his bike all night. He failed to win a single heat, missing out on the semi-finals. 2017 world champion Jason Doyle, now back from injury, also couldn't find any form. He too was left to watch the semis from the sidelines.
Freddie Lindgren off the inside gate here from Sweden. Patrick Dudek, the leader of the GP, going into the semi-finals on 13. Robert Lambert, a replacement for Greg Hancock tonight. He's in the semi-finals in white with his first ever Grand Prix race win. Yeah. And Antonio Lindback goes off the outside in yellow.
Robert Lambert into uncharted territory here, no doubt about that. The man from Norfolk, can he produce something pretty special? Last time he did, he won in fine style. He beat Lindgren. Can he do it again now?
A couple of weeks ago, he was at Berwick in the British Under-21 final. Now he's here in front of 55,000 in Poland, but that's a superstar from Freddie Lindgren of Sweden. Lindgren has the lead. Dudek holds second spot. Lambert third, but here comes Lindback. Watch out for Antonio Lindback in the yellow helmet colour. The guys in the top two right now cannot relax. It's Freddie Lindgren in red. Second place in blue is Patrick Dudek. Lambert's not giving up here, but it's looking good for fast Freddie Lindgren right now.
It is indeed. Patrick Dudek just lifted a couple of times on the way to the first corner and allowed Lindgren to stamp its authority on the race. Freshly prepared track, fastest way is the shortest way. In fact, Lambert rather just missing out this time. Freddie Lindgren showing his composure, showing his class here, looking like the front two are going to go through to the final, and finally, in the Narodowy, the Poles are going to have a finalist.
Yes, and maybe a winner, but Freddie Lindgren will take some stopping. That's a terrific ride from Fredrik Lindgren of Sweden.
Good ride, yeah, really good ride from fast Freddie Lindgren. Been a little bit up and down tonight, but that was a sensational ride. Really nailed it in the first corner. Dudek untidy away from the tapes, and that cost him, but he's through. He'll be delighted with that. And he moves on to 15 World Championship points, having a great night. Freddie Lindgren, he's won here before.
Patrick Dudek second. Antonio Lindback was third with Lambert at the back. So Robert Lambert's night is over, but my goodness, what a night. His first ever GP with 8 points, an appearance in the semi-final. He can go home a very, very proud young man.
Semi-final number 2, can Smectala join Dudek?
Yep, Smectala off the inside, Everson off 2. Smarslik off gate 3, was a little unsure about which bike to use here in the semi-final.
Yeah.
And Leon Madsen of Denmark going off the outside gate here.
Two Danes.
Final 2. Two Danes, 2 Poles.
2 Poles.
We're back in the Speedway of Nations, aren't we?
Indeed. Here we go.
Yeah, Yep, semi-final number 2 it is, and it's a good start from the inside gate here for Smektala. Now, what can Iversen do as he tries the outside run? And Madsen charges up the inside. Leon Madsen comes into second place. Iversen has the advantage right now. And now, Leon Madsen holds on to second as Smarsling threw everything at him there. Smarsling tries the inside run to try and get the better of Madsen. Madsen's back on the inside. Oh. And Smarsling's read it beautifully.
Oh, it's time. Smektala also getting into it. Iversen's night continues. He's sensational in front. Smarsling had to work overtime there. Leon Madsen now up the inside. Smarsling's gone far too wide. 2 days out in front. Oh, what a race.
Terrific speedway here in this semi-final. It is magnificent. It's a triumphant return to the Grand Prix for this fella. Niels Christian Iversen makes the final, as does Leon Madsen.
What a race.
Good night for Denmark. Hans Nielsen is here, the national team manager tonight.
Wow, didn't see that. Smarsling threw it away there, Nigel. Made the move up the inside, and then went far too wide and left the door wide open for Leon Madsen. And Madsen makes the final. Wow, I didn't see that. Smarsling just slipping up there when he really needed to just stay a little bit calm. But the 2 Danes beat the Poles. Disappointment for Smektala and Smarsling in particular, but Iversen, what a night. He's on 14 points, Nigel. A terrific comeback in the GP.
Great stuff here in Warsaw. We now know our 4 finalists.
So, 2 Danes would face off against a Pole and a Swede in the first final of the 2019 season.
Here's the final lineup here after a memorable night of Speedway in Warsaw. Freddie Lindgren off the inside, 13. Niels Christian Iversen, 14 off 2. Leon Madsen, gate 3, white helmet, 10 points. Wins this meeting, he won't be the top scorer. Patrick Dudek outside in yellow, the most consistent rider in the 20-heat build-up to the semi-finals with 4 wins in 5, just waiting to be under starters' orders, and the green light will come on. Here we go, first final of the year, and Freddie Lindgren's made a beauty off the inside gate. Lindgren in red has the race under control right now, but watch out for Madsen the Dane. Madsen in white is going to come on strong here. Madsen's trying the outside run. Lindgren is just gripping the inside, holding on to that white line. Madsen's not done yet. Oh, Lindgren's lost it completely, and Madsen's come through.
Whoa, Madsen's there in the right place at the right time. Madsen in the final for the first time, and he's going to win the Grand Prix. And he's going to go out in front. Lindgren just getting far too much grip. Oh, you can't believe it. Dudek back in third, but Madsen, what a night for him.
Yep, what a night for Leon Madsen, back in the Grand Prix, into the final with 10 points. He's going to finish the night with 13 points, but he's a great Dane tonight, all right. It's Leon Madsen in the white helmet colour who wins.
Wow.
The FIM Speedway Grand Prix of Poland in Warsaw, in this magnificent venue. And who would have seen that coming? A bit of condolence for Freddie Lindgren, who had the lead, just got some grip and let it slip. But Leon Madsen was there to say, thank you very much.
Indeed, indeed. Leon Madsen, what a night. It's his first race win. Leon Madsen, what a night. Yeah, comes up with a stunning performance there. Got a feel for Lindgren, though. Just lifted at the vital moment and left the door wide open.
Very happy, you know. Me and my team, we were working hard all night and struggling a little bit with the setup. But I fight all my races and the same in the final, and now we're here. You know, as I said earlier, we're not here just to take part. I want to fight for the championship, and what a good way to start the GP series.
So it was Denmark's Leon Madsen who came away from Warsaw as the unexpected winner. His first race win in Poland was that one in the final. As a result of not winning in the heats, Madsen ended round 1 4th in the championship standings, with Polish rider Patrick Dudek leading. We'll bring you more from the series as the Speedway season progresses.
Sailing often struggles to capture the attention of the general sports fan, but a new series has been born that hopes to buck that trend. SailGP brings sailing close to the shoreline, and it features the foiling F50 catamarans, which can reach speeds approaching 50 knots. The races are short, sharp, and spectacular. 6 countries are represented in the race for the overall grand prize of $1 million. Round 1 in Sydney was won by Team Australia. Round 2 took place in the Bay of San Francisco, and all eyes were on Team USA and their skipper, Rome Kirby.
It's huge. I mean, it's really cool. Obviously, representing our country is a big, honour. So we're really excited to get going.
Team Australia skipper Tom Slingsby.
Our expectations are obviously high in a result sense. We want to win here. I'm confident with the guys I've got behind me. We're competitive, we're extremely talented, and we're going to bridge the gap before racing starts.
During the training days before racing, the Australians pushed their boat to the limit and nearly lost control completely. Once the action was underway, it was Team Great Britain, helmed by Dylan Fletcher, that led in the early stages of the first race. However, a mistake downwind under full power soon saw the British boat go from 35 knots to 2 knots in less than a second. It opened the door for Team Japan, with Australia's Nathan Outteridge on board. They pounced and took the first race win. In the second race, Team USA took an early lead, but were quickly caught by the more experienced crews of Australia and Japan. Nathan Outteridge's experience of using both foils and the wing sail proved vital for his Japanese team as they cruised to victory in the third and final race of day 1, closely followed by the much improved British.
I think we're trying to hide that as much as we can, but straight line speed is going to win you these races. That first reach, you've just got to push the boat to its absolute limit, and I think you saw us do that 3 times today. And you can't push the boat unless you have confidence in how it's set up, and that's what we've been working on this last week to get ready for the racing.
Day 2 brought stronger winds and a flatter sea, which allowed the boats to really stretch their foils. Team Great Britain continued to impress with their straight-line speed, and they took their first win of the series in race 4 ahead of Japan, who narrowly picked Australia on the line. Japan's second place meant that they had secured a spot in the final match race. Meanwhile, in the final fleet race, Australia and Great Britain battled it out for the second spot in the match race showdown. And it was Australia who secured that coveted place. Australia versus Japan was the same final as in round 1 in Sydney. And once again, it was the Aussies who came out on top to take their second series victory.
We're stoked. Yeah, that was. We struggled all week, and then Nathan Outteridge and his team were the better team all week, but kept saying we were going to come good, and we left it late, but we did come good, and we won the match race and won the event, so we're stoked.
Round 3 of the competition takes place on the Hudson River in New York.
Now for the answer to our sporting question. Earlier in the show, we asked you to name the last man to have won golf's US Open at Pebble Beach. The answer is Graham McDowell. It was in 2010 when the Northern Irishman became the first European to win the title since Tony Jacklin had done so 40 years earlier. It remains McDowell's only major, although he did come close to regaining the title 2 years later when he enjoyed a strong 2012 season. Now aged 39, McDowell was vice-captain of Europe's victorious Ryder Cup team in 2018, and he won his 4th PGA Tour title in the Dominican Republic earlier this year.
That feels really, really nice.
We return to Japan now for more from FISE Hiroshima.
Hey, what's up everyone? I am Valentin Dubois from Blacklist Parkour. I'm representing France and I'm a speed athlete. Today I'm gonna just show you the course around for speed, what's the good tactic to adopt, how to be the fastest, and hopefully today I can win. So for the speed comp, it's a course very simple. You just need to go from the point A to the point B as fast as possible. You can use any technique you want. Of course, there are some tricks, some techniques that are going to be more useful than others. So yeah, the two options that are the fastest in my opinion is to run over here, stride this platform, stride onto this platform too, and free over there. But you need a lot of power to make this transition really smooth. The best way is always to go up. You don't want to go down and up, down and up. You want to keep a line straight as possible. You don't want to move your center of gravity too much up and down because that will make you use so much energy. Here is another tricky part, is the bars. Always the best is to run on the bar. 1 foot, 1 foot, 1 foot all the time. That's really the key. It's just a big, powerful course where you need to jump and not being crushed by the force that's gonna put on your body.
Eight athletes made it through to the final of the Parkour speedrun. They each got 1 run, with the fastest time winning.
So the course is amazing. It's a mix between technical jumps and raw power. So if you have a lot of speed, you are in advantage, but you can choose to go separate ways. So you can either go down with the bars or over the bars, but it makes it a little tricky. So some athletes make choices which make them faster or take more risk, and that's what I really like in these courses.
Mark van Swieten is the coach of the Dutch team.
The coaching of the athletes, actually the most important part here is the mental aspect, because they've all been training physically very hard, but to perform under pressure, that's one of the hardest things. So just the small talks in between, make them to calm down, to rest at the right times, that's actually the most important to do as a coach here at the World Cups.
In the end, the battle for first place rested on a showdown between Dimitrios Kassanidis of Greece and Switzerland's Chris Harmat. On this occasion, it was the Swiss man who came out on top.
And this guy totally killed it. We're roommates, and I'm so happy for him.
Yeah, I'm so happy he made 2nd place. DK, congrats to you as well. Like crazy, crazy. Feels amazing. I can't have it in words. Everything worked out how I wanted to be. I practiced every piece of the course and puzzles, and it actually worked perfectly.
The competition at FISE events amongst female BMX riders has improved year on year. In the freestyle park arena, the big star is 16-year-old American Hannah Roberts. She's coached by BMX legend Ryan Nyquist.
The crew of women that we have in the USA is awesome, super talented and super motivated. So like when you're trying to coach people that all they want to do is learn, like it's really nice because they learn fast and like they don't hesitate.
Ryan's such a great guy. He's actually an amazing coach, and it's cool that he's still riding the contest with the guys and coaching us because, you know, I always make deals with him like, you know, it's either like if I don't do this, then I'll give you $20. And having somebody that you could really like, you know, feed off of is probably the best feeling ever, because it just inspires so much growth. So he's an amazing coach.
Being able to ride the course myself and then being able to explain to them how the course rides and feels, and just be able to have them trust me with that. It's just been quite an adventure, but one that I'm like really kind of passionate about, honestly. Like it's just rad seeing these girls like kind of go out there and just like push themselves and progress. And honestly, I feel like the most progression we've seen has been in the women's category. And so for me, being a part of that is really exciting.
Seeing the full teams makes the whole Olympic thing surreal. Like, it's like every time I walk in, it's like you can't even forget it, because there's people from different people that you've never met before that are like the coolest people. But you're like, oh, you're a rider, and they're like, no, I'm this country's team leader. This, and it's just like, okay, like we're this close. Like this is a little nerve-wracking, but it's all in good spirits. We want the same goals. There's 3 that I'm really worried about, and that would be Nikita, because she's been on overall podium for like the last 2 years, so she kind of like stressing me out a little bit. And Laura, obviously, because she's always been such a phenomenal rider, and then Paris, because she's just like killing it. She's making a name for herself, which is awesome to see, but she's kind of scaring me a little bit.
"12 riders took part in the final, and they each had 2 60-second runs, with the best score counting. Germany's Lara Lessmann finished runner-up to Hannah Roberts overall last year. Here, the 19-year-old had an impressive run, which moved her into the lead. The last rider-up was Hannah Roberts. Things didn't go to plan on her first run, and she suffered a big fall. Thankfully, she wasn't badly hurt and was soon back up for her second run. A 360 tuck no-hander, a tail whip over the step-up, a wall ride and a bar spin, her second run had it all. The teenager claimed an emotional victory.
I kind of just tried to block out the fact that I fell and focus more on what I needed to do to take the win. And I threw down like my dream run. I missed a few tricks, but other than that, it was fantastic, and I couldn't be more proud of myself.
Hannah Roberts' performance brought the curtain down on another thrilling FISE Hiroshima event. The next 2 events are in France and China.
That's all for this week on Transworld Sport. See you next time.